Good afternoon, everyone. This is Rise Masterpiece Game Computer. This is Tales of Arise. Alright, same as always. Light commentary with, with the stream. So, alright, enjoy.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman. And this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And somehow that someone always ends up being a Danan, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danans in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danans in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Try harder! No escape! Damn it! Dragon Swarm!
I'm not so good with airborne targets.
Double Demon Fang!
Flying freak!
What can we do? Sit still!
Sia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Take this!
Mega Ray!
Lunar
Resonate
Logo!
with the
I'm not done! Dragon Swarm!
Here's evil!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Sighted!
My turn! You're mine! Mirage! Dragon Swarm!
Elusive deity! Do it!
Double Demon Fang!
Kisara! Frozen!
Hammer!
Raging Cascade!
Take this!
Can you take it?
You're finished!
Ready to go! Glacial Spear!
Here I come!
Stalagmite! Photon Freeze Lancer!
I'm not done!
Quite necessary when creating weaponry. All right.
There's nowhere to run from my heart. When he slows down, that's our chance.
Watch him! It's like trying to keep up with a wall!
Dragon Swarm!
I'll be saving him!
I'll face you.
Rising
Wyvern! Try harder! Not so fast! It's over! Elusive Deity! Can you take it? No escape! Elusive Deity!
Corruption!
Here I come!
Can you take it?
Here I come! Rising Wyvern! You're mine! Lunar Rondo!
I'll be saving this one!
It's over!
Annihilation! Laser ray!
Elusive Deity!
Let's go!
You're mine! It's over!
Take this!
Thunderblade!
Not so fast!
Double Demon Fang!
Lunar corruption!
Elusive Deity!
Gemini Aqua! Chinese Supernova!
It's showtime!
Like Astral
You're
Lightning
finished!
Condensed! Ready now!
You attack without mercy.
Because I can't afford to
Can't get out of... Not against a worthy opponent.
Your power is expected. I'm not trying to be dramatic with it.
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Danon relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Danon history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course.
I sense a strange power from this.
This should make for some good weapon crafting material.
Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen.
This one will be difficult to predict.
No escape!
I shall ensure you survive this.
Don't mind if I do.
You're mine!
Not so fast.
Demon Fang! Rising Wyvern!
It's a duel of the arts.
Luna Rondo! Devastation!
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
Eater!
Raging cascade.
Here I come!
In here.
Astral art?
That's my cue.
Shut him down! Here I come!
Too fast.
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Healing circle. Dance in the wind.
Try harder!
Okay.
Here I
Did you just heal me?
Demon Fang!
I need you, remember?
Right.
Luna Rondo! Devastation! You're mine!
Resonate with the earth.
Plasmite! Demon Fang! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno! Nice kill! This one's all mine!
It's showtime.
Resonate with the earth.
Ignite ready!
Don't mind if I do. Mega Ray. Gemini onward.
You're
Now.
mine!
Astral energy. Full throttle.
You're mine!
Glacial spear.
Destruction!
Lightning orb. Do it. Light astral. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
I won't rest until I'm the best I can be.
Still striving to be on par with the Lord?
You simply can't be too strong when battle is a part of your everyday.
Brace yourselves! This one's tough! Now! Tear! Take this!
Stay calm. I shall provide assistance.
Rising Wyvern! It's over! Step his come! We've got flyers!
I'm stuck.
No shot!
Let him mark me.
Here I come! All yours! Demon Fang! Dragon Swarm!
Go.
Take this!
I'm only getting started.
Take this! It's over!
There.
You're mine!
I never miss. Air thrust.
You're mine! Demon Fang! Double Demon
Out of
Fang!
ammo. I'm out now.
Resonate with the earth.
In an instant! Impact Block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed clock.
Take this!
Tunnel.
Demon
Ready.
Fang!
I'm ready.
Remote!
Astral energy.
Say no more!
Mega ray. Dance in the
You're
wind.
mine!
I'll face
Feel.
you.
It's over!
Get on in there with the others.
You're quite the gunslinger.
I have to be, in this world.
Don't worry. I've got your back.
It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're comfortable with them then?
Oh yeah. We used to run up and down these slopes all the time for our training exercises.
Damn. You weren't messing around.
This one will be difficult to predict.
Come one, come all! Here I come!
Lightning
It's
orb,
over.
not in your dreams. Lunar corruption, this one's mine. Light astral
Here I
energy.
come! Destruction!
You're on call.
You're finished!
I'm ready. Spear. This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that game.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
Take this! You're finished! Begin! You're mine! I'm ready! Rising
Jolene! This one's got your name on it!
Action to action!
Here I go! Pressure field!
Elusive deity!
I'm on a roll! Water!
So those are Dan and Astral Up.
Something you want to say?
Not so long as you keep them pointed toward the enemy.
Saving this one! Here goes!
You're
Do it!
finished! Jolene! In an instant! Impact clock!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Right, here goes! Strike!
In the wind!
Can't get out of this!
Lunar corruption!
Elusive deity!
Not in your dreams! By the power of
Leave
water!
the agile ones to me. Strike! I'm mine! Demon Fang!
Where are you going?
Not so fast! You're mine! You're finished! Elusive Demon Fang! Rising Wyvern! Lunar Rondo!
There!
This one's all mine! You.
Mega Ray!
Prepare to be seared! Eat dirt! Actually, found is more appropriate.
Let's talk with more duo!
I'm ready!
Kisara! Frozen!
Hammer! Not a chance! This one's all mine! Time to let it rip! You're mine! Rising Wyvern! Heal! Okay, here I go!
Fury! Burning!
Destruction! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Sighted!
My turn! Struck!
Mega Ray! Gale Force!
Destruction!
Raging Cascade!
Lunar Rondo! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! Dance in the wind!
Resonate with the earth! Lunar Rondo! Stalagmite!
I'm ready!
Devastation!
Do it!
Blue escape!
Xion! Astral Energy! Full throttle!
My exploits are bearing fruit.
I found some equipment.
Let me take a look at it.
More Danon ruins here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here.
Maybe they just had that much time and energy on their hands. I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Where are you going?
You're finished!
Here goes!
Elusive deity!
Lightning
Rising
Condenser!
Wyvern!
Thunderbolt!
Lunar Rondo!
Here I
Resonate
go!
with the earth!
Lightning!
Crush!
Air
Demon Fang! Rising Wyvern! Take it! Elusive you're finished!
Annihilation!
Take it!
Mega Ray!
A new melody!
By the power of water!
Take it! Rising Wyvern!
Stalagmite! This one's mine!
Blue escape!
I never miss!
Rising Wyvern!
Now!
Devastation! Elusive
Not on
deity!
my watch!
My
Do
turn!
it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
Devastation! I'm ready!
Xion! Astral Energy! Full throttle!
Certainly not bad.
No complaints here.
I sure have built up a sweat with this hike.
Rest assured, we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here, quite literally.
So Mahag Sar's just up ahead then?
Indeed. If you look, across this mountain is the Lord's Keep.
What's this place here? Some kind of old house?
courteous, aren't you?
You escape! Demon Fang!
I'll thank you.
Water, hear my call!
Devastation! Demon Fang! You're mine! Rising Wyvern!
Resonate with the earth! Stalagmite!
Leave the enemy's arts to me!
Here I come!
No place here! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclops! Come and face me!
Illusion!
Lunar Rondo! Burn in hell! Take this! Demon Fang!
Sweet pal, do it! Law! Demons descend!
Flashing Fang!
Lightning condemned! Hero evil!
Demon Fang!
Resonate with the
You're
earth!
mine!
This one's mine!
Demon Fang!
Where are you going?
You're mine! Rising Wyvern! Lunar Rondo!
I'm
ready! Devastation!
Astral energy!
Say no more.
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood. An opponent like this should be easy.
It's over! I'll take you all
In a
on.
vine?
You're mine!
I'll face you!
You're mine! Rising Wyvern! Here I come! Devastation! Lunar Rondo!
Rotating pile!
It's over!
Alright,
Lunar Rondo!
Elusive deity!
This one's all mine!
I'm ready!
Neon, astral energy! Full throttle!
Not a chance! Devastation! Stardust!
Reaction! Air, lunar blast!
Demon Fang!
Thunderblade!
Heal!
Lunar
Blow away!
corruption!
Take this!
I'm ready! Here goes! Where are you going? Take that!
Burn in hell!
Photon!
I
Raging energy!
Rising
Resonate
Wyvern!
with the earth!
Mega ray!
I'm ready!
You're mine!
Kizara frozen!
Hammer!
Annihilation!
Deity!
It's over!
Rotating pile driver!
Devastation! Lunar Rondo!
Hear my call! One more!
You're
Photon
mine!
sky
It's
is
over!
mine!
Destruction! Catapult! Dragon Swarm!
Now!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
I think I'm getting stronger.
The design of this equipment is really interesting.
You must really like it, Alphen.
Bad feeling about this.
This one's mine!
It's over! Rising Wyvern!
Lunar corruption!
Take
Remaster
this!
energy! Mega
Resonate
ray!
with the earth! Stalagmite!
Confiscated!
Take this! Rising Wyvern! This time!
Do they not teach you to say thank you, Indana?
Not to a Renin, they don't.
I'm ready!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
Lunar
This one's mine!
I'm ready!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Not a chance! Burn! Elusive deity! I'll face you! Demon Fang! I'm ready! Elusive...
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
I can feel my precision improving.
Through these lands most verdant green, my eyes alight for sights unseen. In Menancia, pure and pristine.
Right, here goes! You're fit now! Crush! A debut performance! You're mine!
Your helping me has become apparent.
It's for the good of all of us.
Is it now?
Annihilation!
Take this!
Thunder field!
Rising Water! Devastation! Demon Fang! Destruction!
Light Astral!
Demon Fang!
Give it a whirl!
You're being targeted!
Destruction! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Glacial Spear! Pierce evil! Raging Sword! Breeze Lancer!
This one's all mine! Elusive deity! Burn in hell! You're mine! Rising Water!
It's in the
Lunar
sky
Rondo!
field!
Devastation!
This'll come in handy.
Here I come!
This one's mine!
I'm not done! Begin! Demon Fang! I'm ready! Rising Water! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclops!
It's
Glacial
over!
Spear! Leave now! Get on here with the others! Ready!
It's over! Stardust!
Air thrust! Do it!
Lunar Rondo!
Leonard!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Denison!
I can feel my power growing!
What's that big tower over there?
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
You make sure to rest too, Hootle.
Kisara, let's talk for a bit.
Sorry for rambling on so much about my past earlier.
Don't sweat it. It was fun hearing you reminisce about the good old days.
Come on, you don't have to pretend with me. I know I can tend to go on sometimes, when it comes to my brother.
You said it, not me. Anyway, I don't think it's something for you to be embarrassed about.
Hey, Alphen. When you were a kid, was there ever a time when you had to bury someone younger than you?
Well, it's hard to say. I'm guessing that you have, though.
Yeah. During the previous crown contest, with the Lord before Dohalim. Life back then was truly hell. I think that's why I tried to ignore what Miguel was telling me for so long. Because I was afraid of going back to such a dark time. Of losing hope. I wanted to believe in our paradise so much that I doubted the one person I should have trusted most. I don't blame blame Dohalim for that. I simply didn't want to face facts. And I ended up trying to project my ideals onto everyone else.
It's strange. Whenever you and Dohalim talk about Menancia, it's always like it's some big failure. We're talking about fixing 300 years worth of damage here. Isn't it a bit optimistic to think it was all going to be resolved after only 5?
You might be right. Maybe it was a mistake when Menancia... No. When I decided to stop seeing the darkness in our society. I have to admit the truth. To myself, first of all. I'll take watch tonight. It's okay. Before we go, do you guys have everything?
I'm impressed how well balanced this thing is. Guess I misread the landing. this way, I guess. Not this way, I guess.
Forgive you!
Wait! I'm not done! Rising Wyvern!
Hands in the wind!
Take this!
Sleep now! More for Luna!
You're my dog!
Luna!
Demon Prey!
Resonate with the
Here I come!
Confiscated!
You got flyers!
I've got this! Let him march
Luna
the
Rondo!
handle!
All yours!
Damn it! One's mine!
I'm not done! Rising Wyvern!
We'll soon see about that!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! You don't mess around!
Not a chance!
Here!
Certainly not.
I'll
thank you.
Luna
Rondo!
In here!
Rising Wyvern! Luna Rondo!
I'm ready!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Lightning condemned!
Now! Here I
Mega
come!
Ray! Now for some
Start up!
respect!
Luna Rondo!
Now, Frozen!
Hammer!
Lightning!
Begin! You're mine! It's over!
Tempest Whirl!
Rising
Do it!
Wyvern! Trigger!
Astral Energy!
Say no more!
The heavens must be smiling.
Guess I misread the landing. Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Eldaman and Sia of its enemies, and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, What do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do we do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term. But you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does. Which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan. Leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being and forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes. I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Denon to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
I figured there was something wrong with her. She hadn't been saying much.
Let's stop for a minute.
What's up? You already tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahag-Sar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alphen is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already. I need a break, so we're taking one.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm...
Been looking for you.
For me? Why?
He's tough.
Who are you? You said you were looking for me. Why?
Beautiful, precious life.
What the...
That is all I desire.
Then why are we fighting? Who even are you? It's over!
Here's a way I never miss! Arctic, come through!
Rising Wyvern further!
Annihilate Kara! Mega Ray! Pluto!
You pay for that! Who the hell are you? Bastard!
This guy's not normal!
His speed is unbelievable.
You mean he even surpasses a lord?
Lunar corruption!
Not today!
Lunar blast!
Wide open!
It won't escape me.
Can you take it? Rising Wyvern!
First aid!
Fool.
Hit! Radiant kill!
Over.
I'll bring you back from
Take
death
this.
to I'll bring you back from death to I'll bring you back from death to
Can you take it?
I'll bring you back from death to
Entertain me.
I can't really help.
Imbue this.
I couldn't make it in time. Take this.
Lunar corruption!
I owe you one. Here.
I'll bring you back from death to
Take this!
This one's mine! I've still got the
Where
fight
are you
left in
going?
me.
Here I come!
Take this.
Here's a healing arc! In here! First
Over.
aid! Let's get you all touched
I'll bring you back from death abyss.
Rotating pile driver.
I can use all them!
Can you take it?
Annihilation! Great equal storm!
You're mine!
Art expert coming through!
Entertain me.
Strike! Rising Wyvern!
Can you take it?
Radiant chaos game!
You're mine!
Enjoy.
Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Glacial lightning! Freeze lancer!
Demon Crest!
Resonate with the
You're mine! Rising
Raging
Wyvern!
storm! Not on my watch!
Enjoy.
being interrupted.
Strike!
Take this.
Lunar Rocket!
Here's what's called! Slash! Glacial spear! Air thrust!
And more than
I'll burn out!
Freeze lancer!
Lunar Rocket! I'm not
Lunar
done!
corrupt sensor field! Lunar blast!
Enjoy.
That one's mine! Where are you going?
Is that all that you've got? Very well. Then die. A wretch like you? Till next time.
Shion, wake up, please!
Alphen?
Shion!
Thanks, but you're kinda crushing me.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so am I. It's not as bad as it looks.
Not bad. That's... Shion, we thought you were...
I'm fine. Really.
What the hell were you thinking?
Well, you were trying to protect me too, you know.
Yeah, but I have the sword. It's different.
It's not different. Besides,
Hmm?
Never mind. It's nothing. Anyway, thank you.
But I didn't... Look, I'm just glad that you're...
Alphen?
Sorry.
That guy said he'd be back. I think maybe we should get moving before he returns, right?
Rinwell has a good point. We need to go. Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I already applied some healing arts to it. It didn't even leave a scar.
But his sword went nearly straight through you.
I'm all right. Unless I've turned into some kind of ghost and I'm haunting you all right now.
No, I know you're not. It's just...
Look, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm fine. Really.
There was also that strange light that appeared when Shion was stabbed. It seemed to make the enemy retreat when he saw it. Alphen, do you have any idea what it might have been?
A light? I don't know. I was kind of preoccupied with other things at the time.
Now that I think of it, between that light and the blazing sword, just what sort of person are you, Alphen? Can you use Danon astral arts like Rinwell, perhaps?
He wouldn't know, Dohalim. He doesn't have any memories from his past, remember? Besides, we should really be getting out of here.
I suppose you're right. Forgive me. We've almost reached Niez, the capital of Mahag Sar. With any luck, we'll find a place there for Shion to rest. Hey.
How are you holding up after that last fight? You're not too hurt, are you?
I'm fine, really. See for yourself.
If things get too tough out there, go ahead and fall back. I can take a beating if I need to.
I'm not here just to stand around and have everyone protect me.
I get that, but there's nothing wrong with admitting you have weaknesses too.
Do I look like I'm just trying to put on a brave face to you?
I can't feel pain, but you still can, can't you?
Look, I appreciate you're trying to look out for me, but even you go down in fights from time to time. Please, stop trying to babysit me. It's getting old.
It's not that. I just...
Are we in the right place? This place looks like a mess.
Yes, this is Niez, the capital of Mahag Sar.
I don't see any signs of people. And the buildings.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like the kind of place people would actually live.
No soldiers, no Danans, not a soul to be seen. Yet look at these facades. This is clearly a Renin district.
Hey, check out that drawing on the castle gate. That's the Darkwing's crest. It's from an old Danan legend about a hero who defeated an evil king with a torch and their trusty owl. That's his crest. I'm sure of it.
Really? First time I'm hearing it. So if someone drew it on the gate...
It must mean the Renins have lost control of the city.
Are you suggesting the Danans rose up and defeated the Lord here? Hard to believe, but not entirely unthinkable, given the evidence.
Let's look around and see if we can find someone. They might be able to tell us what happened. This is horrible.
Is there truly no one here?
All of these ruins look like they were made pretty recently.
But if that's the case, then where do you think the people that used to live here went off to? There must have been Danans and Renins, right?
That's a good question. Even if the Danans rebelled and managed to overthrow the Renins here, there should still be some people around.
This debris... Do you think it could be the work of Renin astral arts?
Perhaps, but the appearance of these ruins is rather uniform, which leads me to believe otherwise.
Hey, Rinwell. That story you told us about the Dark Wings, it said that the evil king was vanquished with a holy flame, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then there might be some truth to that old story after all. It looks like all the rubble here had been scarred by flames.
Let's not jump to any conclusions just yet. If we can find someone around here, we might be able to get them to tell us what happened. Dohalim, you forgot to take care of the fire yesterday.
What do you mean, take care of? Ah, yes. You meant to put it out?
Yep. If it stays lit, we could end up in real trouble real fast.
I see. I apologize for not realizing that. I shall be more careful in the future.
The way he's talking, it's like the thought of putting it out himself never even occurred to him.
Moving on, Dohalim, I should mention that the clasp for your cape is about to come undone.
Oh yes, I tried to fix that myself, but it simply refused to cooperate with me.
I can't believe I'm hearing this. Are you telling me Renins can't even dress themselves?
Lords like Dohalim have attendants that take care of just about everything they need, so I'm not surprised he sometimes struggles with the basics.
Even by those standards, you've got to admit this is still a little extreme.
Shionna's got a point. I mean, you don't see Renins like her needing so much help to get stuff done.
In my case, circumstances forced me to learn how to be independent. Even so, I still think Dohalim could afford to pick up a few more self-sufficient skills.
Well, specifically speaking, what would you suggest that I learn?
For starters, I think it'd be good for you to learn how to dress. And put on shoes. How to comb your hair is equally important. And learning to manage your possessions better. And then from there...
She sounds like his mom rattling all that off.
Oh, and another thing. About your owl, Rinwell.
What is it?
When he starts to molt, would you be willing to give me his old feathers? I think I could find a use for them.
What do you intend to do with those?
Well, recently, I haven't been sleeping well. However, I hear pillows made from owl feathers are very comfortable and wish to make one.
This is why I hate you, Renins!
Did I say something offensive?
Next time, put your own needs aside for a second and think about how someone might react first. Then consider if it's worth asking at all.
Maybe something's going on in the forest.
What are those out in the valley? Windmills? They're huge.
They're most likely used to harvest wind astral energy, so they have to be big.
All of you, stop right there! Don't move!
They have us surrounded.
Who are you? Where did you come from?
You first! Show yourself!
I'm the one asking the questions here. Don't try anything funny. One wrong move, and I guarantee we'll blow you away.
What are you...
My name is Alphen. I came here from Calaglia.
Alphen? The wielder of the blazing sword?
Getting pretty famous, isn't he?
Here is my proof. Will that suffice? Or do I have to burn down one of those houses to make my point?
No need. I believe you. I'm Beifong, of the Darkwings. Sorry for threatening to blow you away. We're still hunting down the remnants of the enemy forces, so everyone's more than a bit on edge right now. Please forgive me.
Remaining? Wait, you mean you already took down the Lord of this realm?
That's right. We took her weapons and turned them right back on her.
Are you the Danon leader here in Niez?
Nah, I'm just one of the commanders. Deadheim's the one who runs the show. I'd be happy to take you to him. Just one problem. The Renans. Seems the rumors you were running with them were true. You do understand, right? I mean, we only just liberated the city from their kind. Everyone's short on trust. And for good reason. Especially Deadheim. I think it'd be best if those two waited outside.
Not going to happen.
I don't think it's a good idea for us to split up. It's too dangerous.
Then it's on your head, friend. Our base is that way.
You could have left me behind, you know.
This isn't just about you, Dohalim.
Ah, yes.
Guess even after you beat the Renans, your work's only really just begun, huh?
Yeah. This place seems like it's got a lot of issues to fix.
So you're Alphen, are ya? Thought you'd be bigger. Huh. Guess the armor beefs you up a bit. You've got a lot of people talking, you know. But in this town, I call the shots. You play by my rules here. Just remember that. Gotta say, I didn't expect you to run with a gang of women and kids. Those other lords must have been real pushovers, huh?
Seriously? Are you this rude to everyone you meet?
Don't interrupt me, you brat. Didn't your parents teach you any manners?
What, you?
So you're the one who took down the Lord of this realm, huh? How'd you pull that off?
Ha! We just swiped the Renan's explosives. And then we blasted them all to hell and back.
Explosives? That's a pretty bold approach. But how'd you manage to avoid hurting your own people?
I didn't, that's how. But the chance to take out a lord was worth the sacrifice.
And the Lord? What did this sacrifice earn you?
Unfortunately, we couldn't manage to finish her off. But now we've really got the girl on the run.
She ran? A lord?
Yeah, the lady was just a coward. She had a whole lot more bark than bite, that's for sure. She's probably hiding off in a hole somewhere. But not for long. We'll find her and drag her right back into town. Then she'll get what's coming to her.
I wouldn't be so sure. She may run, but she'll never go quietly.
Shut up, Bright Eyes! I would have run you through already if you weren't with the blazing sword here.
The whole reason you're fighting is to free the Danans in this realm, is it not? If so,
Shut your
then...
mouth, witch! That's enough! If you're really fighting for us Danans, why keep these bastards around? Why haven't you killed them already?
I'm not going to kill these bastards.
Oh. Is that the case, huh? Then tell me the point of this show.
They're my friends.
Friends? Renans are Renans. They're the scum-sucking bastards who've been draining our souls for 300 years now! But you knew that. Maybe it's 'cause you and that little lady are friends and more.
Gave them and catered that boy. Ooh, get him.
Son of a... You'll pay for that!
That's enough! Deadeye, you know that was completely uncalled for.
All of you, get the hell out of my realm! And don't ever come back! This is Danan's realm and it's ours, understand? I call the shots here. And I make the rules. I do, Deadeye, leader of the Dark Wings!
Yeah! Deadeye! Liberator Deadeye! You are the true leader of this realm! We're not afraid of any Bright Eyes!
It's only a matter of time before I throw every last Bright Eye out of this realm!
The Dark Wings! The Dark Wings rule!
Hey, wait up. Told you so, didn't I? You should have left your Renin pals outside.
You don't agree with him, do you? I could tell by the look on your face in there.
That's how things are with him. He loses his temper, then I step in and calm things down.
Better you than me.
If that's all, I think it's past time we were going.
Look, I just wanted to apologize for what Deadeye said in there.
At least somebody's got some manners around here.
He didn't used to be like that. But, well, that's what losing most of your loved ones will do to a man. He may never forgive the Renins.
It's a little ironic how indistinguishable his manner is to that of a lord.
Hey, Beifan? Deadeye mentioned the Lord is still on the run. Any ideas where she might be?
We looked all over, but found no traces of her. We heard some rumblings about activity in Estaluva Forest, but that's it.
Estaluva, huh?
Wait, you're not going after her, are you? Certainly won't win you any favors with Deadeye.
This isn't Deadeye's war, and we're certainly not fighting it for him. Besides, it's like Shion said, her type isn't going to go quietly.
Hey, it's your funeral. Don't say I didn't warn you.
We'll be sure to keep you out of it. Before we set out, though, is there anywhere around here we can rest?
Sure. Building at the end of the road, opposite side. It's all yours. We use it as temporary lodging, to house people who don't have a new place to live quite yet.
We're not going to run into any trouble there, are we?
Rumors of a certain fiery sword have spread fast. I doubt anyone will be eager to give you guys problems. And here's where I say my farewell. You're on your own, but good hunting.
Before you go, how come you don't hate the Renins as well?
Oh, believe me, I've got my bone to pick with the Renins. Just not with two of them I've never so much as laid eyes on before.
Let's head on over to that lodge. We'll figure out what our next move is there.
I get the feeling Deadeye's signed up to be a rebel, so he could have a roost to rule. Heck, he's no better than a lord. In some ways, he's even worse.
I know. How could he use explosives on his own people?
And yet, despite the toll of his actions, none of the Danans we've seen seem to question his assumed authority in the least. If anything, they may well consider him a hero, which would say a great deal toward how deeply they resented the Renans here.
Still, I don't think this is as simple as saying the good guys won out over the bad ones.
Yeah, I don't either. Deadeye might have managed to drive the Renans out of Niez, but that doesn't make the way he did it okay. No matter which way you look at it.
A victory that's earned by throwing away the lives of his own people? No, that isn't a victory at all. I can understand that the Danans here are standing up against their oppression, but that doesn't mean they have to humiliate all Renans just to settle the score.
I'm perfectly able to stand up for myself, Alphen. Besides, I'm used to it by...
But you shouldn't have to be, Shion. It's just... What I mean to say is, when you've been a slave for so long, it's easy to accept that's how it should be because it's all you've ever known. Constantly being belittled is no different. I don't think that's fair. For me or for you.
I just don't know, man.
Don't know what?
Deadeye managed to drive out a real live Renan lord. That's incredible. And he seems to have a lot of supporters surrounding him, too. But he's got an attitude worse than any angry Zoogle. Plus, Niez is in utter ruins. I don't have a clue what his game is.
The Renans are powerful. And because of that, it takes a strong leader to have any hope of toppling them. However, when you take down one dictator only to replace them with another, ultimately it's just business as usual.
If it'd been Zephyr instead of Deadeye, I don't think things would have turned out like this.
Rinwell.
Yeah, I think so too. Zephyr did things differently top to bottom. He's not the kind of person who would have forced his own views or decisions on other people. When you do that, you're ruling over others, not leading them.
To be honest, I don't know what I would have wanted my dad to do if he was in that position.
Law.
The whole thing feels weird in a way. It's a weird kind of feeling, but at the same time, part of me also feels happy. Deadeye and my dad are two very different men. For now, I'm content knowing that.
The city is liberated, and yet the air still hums with fear and anxiety. It reminds me all too well of how Vicente once was.
Hums? You mean like music?
Yeah, none of this sounds like music to my ears. In fact, I've never seen any Danans with musical instruments in my life.
You don't need instruments to play music. It can emerge naturally from the sounds of people going about their day and the hustle and bustle of life.
You seem to care a lot about music, Dohalim. I didn't know that about you.
Have I not mentioned it? Before I was a candidate for the lordship, I had my heart set on the life of a musician.
You? A musician?
Indeed, music enriches the world around us. I trained day and night to hone my art. Words could not describe my bliss as my notes carried with...
Dohalim.
Forgive me. My loquaciousness can get the best of me at times.
Don't apologize. It's interesting hearing what Renan culture is like.
Even though the Renans destroyed all of our arts and culture.
Personally, I was interested in the music of Dana as well. The fact that generations of lords deemed music to be of no use to their slaves and outright forbade the ownership of instruments is lamentable. Not that my words can undo the damage already done.
That Deadeye creep certainly has a few screws loose, that's for sure.
Forget that guy. Right now, we need to discuss how we're going to proceed.
What's there to discuss? Deadeye and his crew have already brought down the Lord here. Just let them finish her off.
I want to go after her.
I second that. I think it's the best thing to do right now. We don't know if the Darkwings have what it takes to beat her. I'm worried what'll happen if we leave her to her own devices.
You make a good point, Rinwell. And maybe I'm just being overconfident, but between us and them, I think we have a better chance at defeating her.
I have to agree. This realm isn't going to be truly safe as long as that Lord is still running around out there. We need to act.
Fine by me. But isn't Deadeye just gonna take all the credit once we're done?
Our job is to break down the walls that oppress Dana. What he chooses to build in their place, that's his problem. For now, we'll head to this Estaluva forest Bayfon told us about. Whatever we decide to do, though, we should take some time to rest first. We've barely stopped since Menancia. Where are you going?
Alphen.
You should get some rest. What's got you up at this hour?
Just let me be for a minute, okay? Why don't you go back to the inn?
I will when you do.
Have it your way.
Shion. The Lord's days are numbered. I haven't forgotten our promise. You can trust me, you know. Maybe even lean on me a little. If you want.
And if I say I will you finally give it a rest?
Yeah, of course. Try to get some rest, okay?
What was all that about?
So we're just going to check things out, right? In whatever that forest is called.
Estaluva Forest. Next time, pay attention.
Got sand in my eyes!
The winds are strong here. Mind yourselves.
Ugh, even the inside of my mouth is all sandy.
Hootle, don't get blown away, okay?
The winds outside the capital are blowing as strongly as ever.
You can definitely see why people call this place the Valley of the Four Winds.
Indeed. Mahag Sar is the realm of wind, just as Ganeth Heros is for water.
Earth, water, fire, wind, light, and darkness. Rena is aligned to darkness, leaving each realm one element each.
Is that because some elements are easier to gather in certain areas than others?
That is certainly possible, but I suspect the biggest reason is to prevent the lords from squabbling over resources.
Funny. You would think infighting would come naturally to an elite class vying for a crown.
True, but the Renans rule as a minority. Fighting ourselves would just be destructive. Though, as you saw in Menancia, any abstention from fighting is merely a facade.
In the end, you all get usurped whether you like it or not.
That may be true, but something tells me that this time is different.
We have to catch up to the Lord first if we want answers. Let's keep moving.
What is that ring of rocks over there for? They don't look like they formed naturally to me.
Oh yeah. Funny, I guess I've gotten used to weird rock formations. They didn't even register as being out of the ordinary.
Most likely, they were brought over by us Renans when we first invaded the planet.
Wait, those?
To manipulate the properties of Dana's astral energy.
Really?
Think about it. Isn't it strange that the type of energy each realm collects is so fixed? Astral energy by nature isn't meant to skew towards one element or another so heavily.
So the Renans reformed it for the crown contest.
Sounds like the crazy thing a Renan would do.
Renans these days are more advanced than Danans in some ways, but even they don't seem capable of doing something on that grand a scale. Or is that something that's possible on Lenegis? Or maybe the Renan homeworld?
I can't claim to know everything about my own kind, but I myself have never seen anything that would be capable of such a drastic feat.
But at some point they did just that. Those are the sort of people we're up against. We should do our best not to forget that.
I'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, here we go.
You're so amazing, Kisara. You can cook, you can fix weapons. I feel like there's practically nothing you can't do.
Maybe you should take a page out of her book and learn to make yourself more useful then.
I'd be happy to teach you if you want, Rinwell. I learned most everything I know from my brother.
Really? Even how to sew and do laundry?
Yes, indeed. He knew how to do anything.
Sounds like he was a pretty handy guy when he was alive.
He was. I'd always follow him around and badger him with questions. I was a real pain in the neck. Now that I think about it, he and Legil were the ones who taught me how to raise cats, too.
Legil is that woman who was with him in the Gold Dust Cats, right? I remember now. The one with the really pretty hair.
Funny you mention that. He also taught me how to maintain my hair. Not that those lessons stopped it from getting all tangled up during training.
I think it still looks gorgeous.
From what I can tell, it would appear as though the only thing he didn't manage to teach you was how to apply makeup.
No, but that didn't stop him from trying. He really wanted to teach me everything. Only reason he couldn't was because I prioritized my training.
And here I was trying to make a joke.
I can't tell if she's being serious. The only one here who knows him well enough was her.
Yeah, I guess only Miguel could have told us if it's actually true.
This one will be difficult to predict.
Take this! I'll take you all on! Can you take it? Take this! Demon Fang!
These ones can run rings around us.
Hitting pile driver! Here I come! Demon Fang! Not today! Take this! Demon Fang! Now! Kisara! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclone!
Dance in the wind! Radiant blood!
Rising light! I'm ready!
Kisara! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Looks like it could be worth something.
Alphen, have you been washing your clothes? It may not be my place to say this, but... frankly, they're starting to stink.
Now that you mention it, it has been a while since I did any laundry.
I'll wash them for you if you want. Just remember to give them to me the next time you get changed.
Oh, okay. Sure. Thanks, Kisara.
And, Law, Rinwell, yours are starting to look a bit ragged.
What do you expect? Of course they're going to tear up when we're out there fighting so much.
Yeah, but it's still kind of embarrassing, having it pointed out like this.
And Shion?
I wouldn't touch me if I were you.
Of course. My apologies. All I wanted to say was that your sleeves are getting a little bit dirty.
You don't need to worry so much, Kisara. It's only natural our clothes are gonna get a little dirty while we're traveling around.
That's no excuse. Your outward appearance says a lot about your inner well-being.
Now you've really set her off.
Suffice to say, it would appear that the traditions of the Guard are still alive and well within her.
What do you mean? What do the guardsmen do that's so special?
Mostly, I'm simply referring to the fact that they're a very regimented and cleanly group of people.
Do I really sound that weird to you guys? Keeping your clothes clean and mended is completely normal to me.
Don't get us wrong. We appreciate the thought, Kisara. But we've got a long journey ahead. It wouldn't hurt to relax your standards. Just a little.
If you're sure. I wasn't trying to overdo it, I promise. However, if it's making the rest of you tense, I'll do my best to tone it down from here on out. Still, if everyone could bring their laundry and clothes they want fixed, that'd be great. I'll take care of it all for you guys tonight.
Don't you ever get tired?
Alright, I'm gonna have to call it here. Something has garnered my attention that I have to go take care of, so if you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and comment on the video. I'll see you on the next one. This is Rice, this is Masterpiece Gaming Theater, this is Tales of Arise. I'll see you on the next one. Love you, bye.